You guys ready for USFL?
I seen that. Oh, that their draft today.
Hello, everyone, and welcome into another episode of the Comic Bookies podcast. Episode 144 is starting right now. Thank you so much for watching live on YouTube or listening wherever you get your podcasts. This week in comic books, plenty of books to get into from a couple weeks ago, plenty of books that are premiering today, including Detective Comics, Miles Morales' Spider-Man, Saga, and Berserker is back. In the news, long-time-running cartoon Arthur finally concludes after 25 years. John Williams, famous John Williams, is back in the Star Wars saga. Stranger Things Season 4 has a premiere date, and no more masks for Mickey Mouse. And in sports, Champions League Week 2 of the round of 16 is here, but the Winter Olympics are gone. Mark has some ratings for you. The NBA All-Star Weekend has come and gone, and Austin Cindric takes the Daytona 500, and we are on to Fontana. And we are on to the rest of episode 144. Let's get it, boys.
Yes, sir. Professional.
Yeah. The ladies' man.
Mr. White Man.
Well, the ladies' man.
Dude, during dinner today, they have the new, your favorite movie, Mike, the Chainsaw guy, Chainsaw Massacre.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Huh.
Nice.
Oh, just wonderful. Guys, cool. God. Boy, should they die. Like, they find, like, Harry just never fails to amaze me. Like, this guy just chainsaws, right? Shows everything.
All those movies I like. Yeah. I like the horror. I like the horror movies.
Oh,
I like the horror movies that are like slasher, like Mike Myers and
you love it, bro.
Like Freddy Krueger, Jason, like Friday the 13th. I like all of those that are like, you know, slasher ones. But like stuff that involves ghosts and all the Insidious ones and all. Oh, no, thank you. Yeah. No, thank you. I don't care if it's all fake. No, thanks. Okay, episode 144. Thank you so much for the one viewer joining us so far. Thank you for watching. Might be my wife, might not be. I don't know. She confirms it's not.
Nice.
So that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Oh, you're recording in the house today?
Oh, yeah, with the freeze warning? Come on now.
Bro, it's had look, dude. If it's freezing here, bro, I was walking Buster. I was thinking about like between 7:30 and 8. Oh,
it's supposed to. I told all the other
hell.
supervisors because they all live in Modesto. I was like, dude, like
Yeah.
going in to like Saturday morning or something, it's like 26. Like right now, I went out to take out the garbages, and it was before I put Maddie down, so it was like 7:50. I was like, dude, it's like it feels like it's only like 5 degrees away from the temperature it is when I'm leaving at 6 a.m. Like, it's freezing when I leave work at 6 a.m. And I was just going out. Come on, it's 8 o'clock. It's not really cold yet, but it was freezing already.
Oh, it is hella cold.
Yeah.
It's cold.
All right, so once Mark gets back, we'll start.
Yes. Must have heard you.
My sweatpants.
PJs.
All right, dude, Ski, you ready?
It's dad.
Mark?
Ooh, look at him. Hey. I go feeling like he, back in the junior high days, hot Cheetos.
I can't taste anything.
Bag of hot Cheetos.
It doesn't even feel hot. All right, let's do it. Okay, episode 144. Let's do it. 3, 2, and 1. And as that music fades, we are back again with the Comic Bookies podcast. Again, thank you so much for everyone who supports us, watches, listens, downloads, shares our stories, and whatnot. Thank you so much for everything you do for the show. But this episode, like all the other ones, are brought to you by Treasure Island Comics in Fremont, California. Tomorrow, Wednesday, February, what's it tomorrow? 23, because today is 2 22/22. What a glorious day to be recording. But no, tomorrow the 23rd is New Comic Book Day for all local and big comic book stores out there across the United States and the world. So please go and support your local comic book store. Ours is, in fact, Treasure Island Comics. Go see Alex. He'll get you a pull list going. And if he doesn't have it in the shop, then he can mail it right to your front door. Sean and Mark, what's going down, guys? How's your week going? How was the weekend? I'm in the middle of my weekend right now, my long weekend, but how's the work week going so far?
Short week this week, man. Had
right.
that extra day off, so I'm happy to be back, by the way. You know, the whole baby schedule, and we're actually, the life changes going on, so, we couldn't record last week myself. But now everything is good, man.
Nice.
Cannot complain. Just like we were talking about a little while ago, it's just hella cold
free
outside.
warning out here for the San Joaquin Valley. We're supposed to get, I know for those of you listening in like Tennessee and New York and Minnesota and like the Dakotas, I know you're like, what? 20-something degrees? That's like summer for us, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we're supposed to hit like, like some mid-20 temperatures throughout the night for the next couple of days. So, for us Californians, that is freaking freezing. Mark, what's up, bro? How you doing?
Oh, yes.
What's up, guys? Welcome as we wind down February, getting here to the end of it. It is a very special day today. Crazy that it's on a Tuesday, and it's all those twos. Saw reports that courtrooms were full today and chapels and whatnot of people trying to tie the knot on this glorious, wonderful day. And it's even more glorious because Joey Logano, the number 22, to try to do it in 22. So kind of, they were all promoting Shell, Pennzoil, and, the Pennzoil 400's coming up in Las Vegas here in like 2 weeks or whatever. So they're promoting all that today. But no, talk about freezing. I sure as hell was freezing myself coming back from Tahoe yesterday, stuck in a bunch of not really bad snow, but like flurries, enough to just slow traffic down, 8 hours on a trip that usually takes about, 3.5, 4. Told my wife probably could have just flew all the way to Portugal in the time it took us to come back from the Sierra Nevadas yesterday. But all in all, happy belated President's Day to everybody. But here we are. We're here to tackle the weekend that was, the day that is, and the week ahead that will be with my two favorite brothers to do it today in episode 144. So, man, I hope we have a good time, and I hope the fans enjoy it as much as we do. So,
yeah,
let's get with it, man.
Comic books and entertainment is first this week. I kind of like what we did last week, Mark, and kind of did the headlines and like the news of entertainment first, kind of break it up. So if we want to do that, let's do that, man. If you guys have other, headlines from the past week in entertainment or comic books itself, go ahead and throw them out there. But I saw a few. House of the Dragon finally wraps filming. Sean, you excited for that one?
Oh, very excited, bro. Miss my Game of Thrones, anything Game of Thrones related. We need my fix back, bro. So no, definitely excited. So done with filming, so I'm expecting another 4 to 6 months before we see it, probably.
Winter is here. They're gonna promote it like that. I mean, but just like how lucky are we that we're gonna get another Fantastic Beasts? So if you're in the Harry Potter world, you get more of that. You get more of Lord of the Rings with the Amazon Prime TV show coming out. We're getting spoiled with all of these classic TV shows and movies. We're getting so much more content just based off of those universes.
Very much so, sir. I know the Game of Thrones, the Harry Potters, all these different shows, movies. It's crazy. The Hobby, I know they have something else coming out. So, I mean, those are just they've set the standard that they could just keep building off of it, and people are gonna watch it no matter what. So I mean, who are we to complain?
And then speaking of just a household name and just a universe that everyone is so immersed in, Star Wars, of course, we know that the Obi-Wan Kenobi show is coming out on Disney Plus. John Williams, famous composer, he's done all the Star Wars. He did a few of the Harry Potter movies. You've known him from Jaws. I think Indiana Jones, he did the original Olympic theme song, that one. So he's coming back to compose the Obi-Wan Kenobi theme song for the TV show. So that's pretty dope. I have no idea how old he is. He must have been kind of, I don't know, maybe 40s or 50s when he was doing the old, 70s Star Wars movies, because he's still doing things like 50 years later. So it's like, what the hell? Like, what is this guy, 80 or not? I mean, we have to look that up, but like, how old is this guy? Still working, still composing some, these scores. It's amazing.
Currently 90 years old.
And still working.
Jesus.
That's crazy.
Wow. Is this something that he just came out just to like do this? Is Disney paying him big money, or I don't think he's actively working, if you will. Right. But for something of this magnitude, I'd say, confirms the legendary composer has created, highly anticipated Disney Plus. Why not, dude? They got the money to do it, and if he wants to come out and do it, look, he got us, he got our asses talking about it, so it obviously worked. I think that they knew what they were doing by bringing them back at 90 years young. So
because I'm almost positive he doesn't do the scores for Mandalorian or Book of Boba Fett. So this might have been something special, It
is.
If I didn't mention it, he also did Home Alone. By the way, the first 2 Home Alone movies, he did the score for that. So he's done a lot. Oh yeah, he's done a lot of stuff. Did he do Back to the Future too? I don't know. There's a long list of movies that he's done, but yeah, congratulations to him. He went to USC too, so he fight on. He's a Trojan, so that's pretty cool. Let's see, Sean, you Stranger Things guy?
Oh,
so we finally get not one, but 2 premieres for this show this year. Yeah. So season 4 is a lot more episodes than it usually is. So the volume 1 of episodes premieres May 27th, and volume 2 premieres 5 weeks later on July 1st. So we're finally getting some. It's gonna nice that's at least 2 years, right? At least.
It should be, yeah. So season 4, yeah, I've seen like just a sneak of the way we're doing it. So season 4 is gonna be like the 2 series type of thing, split into half, and there is going to be season 5 as the last one, right?
I do not know that.
I think that's the way they're doing it. Maybe I read that wrong, but I did see the whole season 4 is going to be split into 2. So
I forget when season 3 premiered, but it feels like season 3 premiered before COVID hit.
Dude, it was. I was just going to tell you that when we were talking about it in pre-production. Season 3.
What, July, August?
I'd say 2018, maybe in the fall of 2018, going into 19. It was a while ago, I'd say. But so you guys are saying this is going to be in 2 separate parts.
Yes, sir.
Is it going to be 6 episodes each part?
I could probably give that to you.
What are we looking like?
Let me see. So it looks.
July 4th, 2019 was when the season 3 debuted.
Yeah, so it's going to be like 3 years.
Was it?
It's crazy. 3 years in between seasons. I knew it was. So, May 27th is episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then 6, 7, 8, and 9 are July 1st. So still a short season. But not all 9.
Millie Bobby Brown's going to be looking pretty old in these after 3 years. Look at all these little characters that we've seen grow up. How much older they're going to look when we finally see them again on your... on Netflix.
Like when some of those shows and movies started filming in 2020, you know how they did everything over, Zoom and everything, and then they did their scenes separately. I'm sure they were filming something in 2020, and then all of it, obviously, in 2021. So I don't know what they will look older, but not. I don't know.
They'll find a way to try to make them gradually getting older as they should in this show. But yeah, you see pictures of them now. They look like little young adults now.
Stranger Things is good, but it unfortunately it's not a show that I am anticipated for every season. Like I love when Titans come out. I love when Snowfall and Mayans come out. Like I'm actually excited for those shows. Stranger Things, I'll get around to it. I'm not going to binge watch on May 27th. I'm not going to binge watch the first 5 and then July 1st binge watch the other 4. No. So, I'm
Stranger Things or Ozark type of guy.
And I've only finished 2 seasons of Ozark, so it's like I'm only halfway into Ozark too, and I already like it more than Stranger Things. Oh, for sure.
Treat yourself, sir. Treat yourself. Yeah. It's wild, man.
Stranger Things is a good show, but it's not as adult for me. That's kind of why I've been kind of gravitating towards the Doom Patrols and the, like that's why I liked all the Netflix like Marvel shows. They had cussing, they had more violence, they were just more adult, So
does this hiatus kind of have does it lose the Stranger
for some
Things
people
steam?
it will.
I mean,
Yeah,
having this long of a hiatus.
For some people it will.
I think
for others,
it will.
it's
Yeah.
It's going to blow up on social media still.
I think people have outgrown it. People have outgrown it.
I agree.
Are all the same characters coming back?
Yeah,
Are you
it's
aware
true.
of that?
I think it is the same
Characters.
characters.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'll keep continuity.
I mean, they've been
together
working
in
too. I mean,
somewhat.
one of the main kids, he was in the recent Ghostbusters movie with Paul Rudd. So I think they've still been working. So yeah, but finally it's here. Like I will get around to watching it. I'm sure it's going to be good. But yeah, that'll be good for sure. What else? Peacemaker, real quick. Season 2 has been confirmed. I only watched the first episode. It feels like a Doom Patrol to me. Like it's got some action. It's silly as hell. Dumb, it's like John Cena's Peacemaker. If you've seen the second, Suicide Squad, it's him, but it's just a show on it. It's wacky, it's funny, it's stupid, but I think it's worth watching, especially if it's like, a lot of these seasons how they've formatted it lately. It's 8 episodes, 10 episodes. It's not Smallville, it's not Arrow or Flash, where it's 23 episodes where you have to commit 8 months of your life to watching, mixed in with 2 or 3 long breaks. So
Nice. I have not watched any. I've actually heard good things though, and the description you just gave is actually what they're saying. It's like some action, hella just like silly, stupid, funny.
For fans,
so,
if you've liked Doom Patrol, you'll love Peacemaker. I think that's what I'm like telling people. So have you watched Doom Patrol? Oh, I love Doom Patrol. Well, then you're gonna love Peacemaker. Or I don't like Doom Patrol because it's like too far out there or too like silly, stupid. Then you might not like Peacemaker, but I would still give it a try.
Peacemaker has that Suicide Squad vibes to it. That second one was pretty funny though, I'll admit, where we actually saw
Squad,
Peace where he
Well,
came
it was
from.
okay.
It was better
Actually,
than the first one, I think. Yeah.
Definitely.
The last kind of small piece of news, I mean, because I know neither of us watched it. We're a little bit too older for this show. But longtime running cartoon Arthur finally concludes after 25 years. So you had people who were, I want to say maybe 5 years younger than us, maybe in between my brother's age and my sister's age. Like they might have grown up on PBS and watching Arthur. But it finally concludes, and I think I was reading the article, one of the last scenes of the episode, they fast forward like 20 years, and they kind of show Arthur and what he's doing with his life and like the other, characters. Like one kid becomes a teacher, the other person ends up like working or owning a sneaker store, like a shoe store or something. So I forget what becomes of Arthur, but yes, I mean, they kind of give it a nice little send off, like, oh, what happened? Kind of like the Harry Potter, how they fast forward like 10 years and they show them taking their kids to the Hogwarts Express. It kind of felt like that, I guess.
those shows, man, I mean, they were around like almost when we were like younger. The Blues Clues, the Arthurs, all those, man.
Yeah,
it's,
I mean,
it's
Arthur.
crazy.
Yeah, we were what? So that's
You're about to
9 years old for me and you, Sean. So that's when it premiered. So 9 years old. I mean, we were like still into Power Rangers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but then we were first starting to get into, I think, Rugrats and Hey Arnold and all those shows started premiering. So once we kind of were getting to the final years of elementary and into junior high, I think those shows started to premiere. So, but yeah, man. Mark?
Arthur made for some good memes. Good memes.
It's
from
good
Arthur.
memes, man.
Fist.
Yeah, the fist can't go too
the
bad
fist
with
is
the
the one
memes,
at work.
but
Like whenever we see something that
That's the
pisses
best
us
one.
off, we just send each other the shaking fist. Like, oh god, it's pretty funny.
yeah. So I mean, rest in peace, Arthur.
think
I
he
guess.
died.
Just what's the longest standing now? What keeps going? I mean, how many years is Family Guy now?
Simpsons.
They've been going
Simpsons
on
is
for a
still on.
while. South Park.
Simpsons still, that's long.
Well, I know Simpsons. Simpsons is like what 80,
Something like that,
90,
yeah.
89 Simpsons, I think.
And then I
Yeah,
think
it's
live action,
ridiculous.
it's got to be like what Supernatural. Supernatural was like 16,
Supernatural
17
long
seasons.
time.
Like Supernatural premiered towards the final couple seasons of Smallville. That's when that premiered. Freaking crazy, right?
Oof.
And then you have It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Even though those are shorter seasons, only half-an-hour episodes, they've still been going for like 15 seasons now.
You know why though,
Wow.
right?
It's trash,
Except for
man.
trash,
That's right.
man.
That's right. And then the final piece of news I have that we can kind of talk more into. It's not just like a headline, but no more masks in Disneyland as of 2/17, as of the 17th of last week. So right after we recorded, Mark, a couple of days later, they confirmed that I think there's like 2 more places that you might have to still wear masks. I think one of them is the tram ride, like the little bus that takes you from the parking garage to like to the front doors. I think that may still be masks, but other than that, I think it's all but done. So I think LA is one of the the big cities still there in California who are like pretty strict on masks. But if you go into Orange County, if you go into Anaheim, into the confines of Disneyland, I think you're good, which is crazy.
Well, ever since the jackass mayor Garcetti got caught with an overweight man with HIV without a mask on, going against all his mandates, while, like I always mention, my kid still has to wear a mask. But Mr. Newsom's going to revisit that on the 28th, guys, so we'll see what happens. But
Fingers crossed there.
That's good for Disneyland. That's good for the big bad mouse, but I'm sure it didn't come at no cost to you guys, to anybody visiting. They probably they let the mask mandates go, but they probably raised the price another $10 to get in. Dude.
I know, right?
These little hidden fees and taxes.
Seriously though, real question. How much is it now for like a day single park? Are you looking 160, 170?
Okay, so right before they shut down, right? So right before they shut down in March of 2020,
150.
No, they had just announced that they were just about to, or they just had raised it to 200 a day.
What?
Right before
Hold
COVID
on.
hit.
For one park?
For a park hopper. So 1 day park hopper was $200.
Christ.
They had announced that like right
Wild,
before COVID
man.
hit. So I'm thinking to myself, like, what was it? Like I told you guys, we went on the website that we use, for our vacation, and
What is that, by the way? You're going to text that to me because I need to get Casey's first Disneyland trip.
Yeah.
So you need to text me what that website is, man.
yeah, it's just getawaytoday.com. Very, very nice group of people out of Utah, so, they're
Park
really,
City.
yeah. So, but yeah, no, I mean, the price of our vacation before COVID was right around the same, maybe $15, $20 more expensive to do it after COVID or like, during or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it was 4 days in the park hopper.
In the pack?
Yep. 4-day park hopper for not only me and my wife, but now my daughter, since she had already turned 3 during COVID. So now we have to actually pay for her. And the 5 nights in the hotel, and it was like right under $2,000. So it's not too bad.
Shoot. And I know you mentioned that if you did it the other way, everything individually would have been like damn near double the price, probably.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, where they get you is like travel, right? If you have the means to drive, then you drive.
Oh yeah,
it's
no
not
doubt.
bad, especially where I live now. It took me like 5 hours to get there. Like I'm already down into LA in around 4 hours, if not less. And then so like for us going to Disney World, that's where they get you. They get you on the plane rides. Like for me, my wife, and having to get my son a plane ticket just because he would need a seat. It's like $1,500 just for the flight. So as far as going to Disney World, it's like, damn, man, like I almost paid as much to go to Disneyland our whole trip last time just to get to Florida.
Just the flights.
Just to get to Florida. So, I mean, but it becomes more and more enticing with all these little parks opened up. Me, my wife, and my daughter watched a little, like one of those channels that we started following. They do the walkthrough of all the parks and stuff because, we got FOMO during COVID. They recently opened up, I think it's it's attached to Legoland in Orlando, but it's a Peppa Pig theme park. And it's for kids like 6 years old and younger, and they got like one little mini roller coaster. They have, and it's all themed off Peppa Pig. They got like Grandpa Pig's garden. They have, it's pretty cool. Like we could definitely spend at least 3 to 4 hours in there with both little kids. So it makes it more enticing, and we want to go. It's like, oh Now we're gonna have to make it like a week and a half long trip because you got to go to
I was
Disney,
just
because you got to go to
gonna say
Disney
that,
World
man.
like 3-4
yeah.
days. Then you got to go to Universal Orlando because you have to like experience everything that they have that Hollywood does not. Like Harry Potter, the Harry Potter land is like on steroids compared to Hollywood. And then you have, Legoland if you want to go there, and the Peppa Pig. So it's like, oh my God, all these freaking. And then my coworker, he's from Florida. He's like, oh yeah. Then you have Busch Gardens, and you have there's a theme park called Gatorland. Like it's nothing but
Daytona.
Yeah,
I'm seeing
right?
like a
And then you gotta go to
$5,000
Daytona
trip
500,
right there.
What?
I'm seeing like a $5,000 trip right there.
Oh, at least. At least.
At least.
But yeah, I mean, no masks is good. I was thinking about taking my daughter.
Finally coming
Yeah.
back to some sense of normalcy around these damn areas.
Well, but I think it all depends on where you are, right? Like the city of Anaheim, the Orange County, it's different from LA. Oakland up here in Alameda County, I just
That's
got
right.
my daughter just got invited to like Disney on Ice this weekend, like this Sunday. So if she goes, she needs to obtain a negative test.
Yeah.
A 4-year-old.
Fortunately.
Because she's not vaccinated.
to go where?
To go to Disney on Ice.
Disney on Ice.
And then she has to wear her masks at all times inside.
City to city, county to
So
county.
it's like
wild,
it's Disney, but it's still the city of Oakland County of Alameda. So it's
Rules.
all So, one day we'll be like England because Boris or whatever his name is, Boris.
It's
Mr.
getting there.
Johnson.
Mr. Johnson. He just got on the mic yesterday and said that England is soon
Learn
to,
to live with it.
just like Spain, we're going to treat it like the flu. We're going to get all the mandates and all the COVID regulations. So, I mean,
And his hair couldn't be any more wackier when he announced
It's
it
always
either,
wacky,
so.
bro. It's
It's always like all over.
he looks
the
like
place,
he looks like
dude.
friggin' Gary Busey in Rookie of the Year.
Right. Yeah, but
What do you guys?
yeah,
what do
there's
you
a
guys?
lot of
like that.
What do you guys
lot of
think about this?
countries-
About the whole, Disneyland, and you think it's kind of like why? Because like everywhere else, we, especially in California, we still have to. It's still kind of annoying, right?
No, we don't.
I mean,
They dropped it.
yeah, no,
Newsom.
Yeah, I know.
Gruesome Newsom finally did something that you can applaud him for. He finally dropped the mandate. But I've been I mean, coming back from Nevada, no one's really wearing masks out there. Couple people, but I'd say maybe like 10%, 15% of people out there maybe in casinos wearing masks. But even out here, I'd say probably I'd probably say, what do you guys say? Because I've actually been seeing some people around here in the, inner Bay Area cities, like kind of, I wouldn't say 50-50, but probably 70-30, but 70% probably still wearing masks, 30%.
Probably closer to 50-50, like out here where I live.
Yeah,
It's probably closer to 50.
definitely.
Like, there's still plenty of people who are inside Safeway or Walmart or Target still wearing masks. But right before the Omicron, outbreak and all these people getting sick and stuff, they finally took the, mask signs off all of these gas station places and Safeway stuff. And then they put them back up saying, even if you're vaccinated, we recommend you wear these masks, right?
Recommend.
And sure enough, I went to Safeway today. We went to Walmart and Target last week and the gas station a couple of days ago, and all those papers are now off ever since that they lifted those mandates. So now it's like, all right, cool. People are still wearing them. Like a lot of employees are still wearing them. Like when we went to, where'd we go? We picked up dinner a couple of days ago. They're all still wearing masks inside. So, yeah, it's just on preference, I guess. And,
It should be on preference. You just said the
Yeah.
perfect word. Should be preference.
so at
Good.
the end of the day, if like I was like me and like all three of us were saying this, like, right? It's like if you're vaccinated, like if you chose to get the vaccine, and then you go and see someone inside not wearing a mask, like that's on them, right? Like if they have the vaccine or if they don't have the vaccine, that's kind of on them, right? It's like they're the ones who are choosing not to wear masks. And if they want, if that increases their chances of getting it and getting sick or whatever, that's on them, right?
Should be. You're responsible for your own actions at the end of the day. Like,
It was just kind of like confusing to me how like people in masks were yelling at people who were not wearing a mask. So, but it was like
ignorant,
that doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think we collectively think like if you're not wearing a mask, you're not going to infect me any more than if you were wearing a mask, right? Like I don't know. if you're going to get sick with or without the mask, and if you're not vaccinated, then I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just do what you want, I guess. At this point.
At this point, I think the only 2 cents is respect how like people take it, like both sides too. That's one thing you just said. I'm happy you use that example because it's not like, oh, I use mask, I'm better. I'm like, hell no, you ain't. I even go as far as saying I'm vaccinated, I'm better.
Well,
you ain't. It's all preference. Like it is all preference. Whatever you feel more comfortable with.
Just like parenting, just like things, shoes you buy and stuff. It's all based off of.
There's way more important
opinions.
things that I think we can judge. Exactly, that we can judge people on preference. And here, I don't know.
So.
People turn this shit into fucking separate people and stuff, man. It's stupid.
But the one thing that doesn't separate us, that brings us together, are comic books.
Yeah.
And before we get into the books, let me give you guys a quick... Actually, you know what? I'll save that. I'll save the little nugget that I got for you guys later. I mean, if you guys want, let's get into some books, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. So
get away from all the negativity
know, right?
because, COVID's about to be gone anyway because now we got Ukraine getting invaded and whatnot. So
I know, right?
We got other distractions and the market's bleeding out. So
no, don't tell me that.
So
Putin,
Bloody Tuesday.
hopefully Putin stuck the knife in the market. Hopefully he doesn't twist it, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see. But
so if you're
let's get into
whether you're
some more
Russian, whether you're
lighthearted
Ukrainian, whether you wear a mask or not, your eyes still work the same, so you can still read comic books. So this week,
have we ever had any downloads in Ukraine or Russia, Mike? Has the great city of Kiev
believe
Moscow.
Dynamo Kiev.
I believe both. Yes.
St. Petersburg.
Right.
And isn't the UCL final supposed to be in Russia?
They've already announced
They're
today they're
already
gonna change
announcing.
it.
We'll talk about that later in sports. Get into the comic.
I mean,
Okay, so
they
DC
kinda
this week,
should.
tomorrow the 23rd, Detective Comics 1054 rolls on with their weekly smasher of a hit. Action Comics 1040, Robin 11, Catwoman 40, and The Human Target number 5. Marvel gives us Amazing Spider-Man. I did not write down the number. I think it's like 89 or 90. Dark Ages 5, Miles Morales Spider-Man 35. X Deaths of Wolverine 3, Strange Academy for me and Sean number 16, and a new book, Ghost Rider, is back with a number 1. Image gives us Saga 56, Department of Truth 16, Monstrous 37, and Two Moons number 10. Boom Studios, Berserker is back. It's not on my list. I don't know if you guys still get it, but Berserker number 7 and House of Slaughter number 5. And finally, one of our favorite small-time publishers, AWA, gives us Out number 5 and Telepaths number 6. All right, guys, so this week I read books from a couple weeks ago. Fortunately for this week, I'm only getting like 5 books. So hopefully next week I can read the 8 that I got from last week and then catch up on these ones. So I don't know, fingers crossed by the time we record next week on, I think it would be March 1st, that hopefully I would have close to being caught up. If I can get some luck and I can read like the 8 that I got. Oh no, never mind. I still have, oh my God, I totally forgot. I have this stack right here behind me. And then I have the stack that I just got in the mail from last week. So I still have 2. So maybe in the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'll be caught up because I'm only getting 5 this week. So
What Mike said.
yeah. So I mean,
Same
just a
with me
few
with
quick
Mike
hitters
said.
before we get into the ones that we actually talk about. Avengers Tech On. That was a 6-issue miniseries. That was pretty cool. It was more like it was actually pretty cool. It was like based in Japan, so it was a lot of like it looked like manga style art. It's pretty cool. Not something that I would pick up because it actually hinted at like another story. It was pretty cool. Let's see. Noctera. Noctera's back from Image Comics. Scott Snyder, Tony S. Daniel. Issue number 7. The next arc of the story. Absolutely loved it. Fantastic Four Life Story. Number 6. The 6th and final issue of that miniseries was the 2010s. That was a really, really good book. Followed them from when they became the Fantastic Four in the 1950s, and a new spin on what happens in their lives every decade, including a huge battle with Galactus. The 7th and final issue of Joker, The Puzzle Box. Pretty good. Again, leaves it open for like a part 2. I wouldn't get it then. Let's see. And then
You read that thing through?
What, Joker Puzzle Box? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good. A lot of investigative work, a lot of like, oh crap, it could have happened, this could have happened, and then like to see what really happened, and it was kind of like a bummer, to be honest.
8 out of 10, 7.5, 7.
I'd give it a 6.5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't continue.
You're not on it, Mark, anymore, but Scumbag just came out. It was again, like it wasn't a horrible issue, right? So, but it is. I'm getting close to where you are, where you got to a point where I could be spending more time on other things. So I'm getting to the point. I might give it until the end of this arc. If this was the end of an arc, I have to double check, but I'm pretty sure.
Which one?
Scumbag.
Oh yeah.
But I will tell you this, in this month's previews, the one we just gave orders for, Scumbag was not in it. So I'm wondering if it's taking another break or if it's going to be done after 13 or 14 issues, so we shall see. And that's pretty much it for like the one-hitters. What do you guys got? You guys want to get into anything?
What's the book that sorry, Sean, let me just ask something to Mike real quick. I didn't get much into previews so much this week. This month I saw the DC, the Marvel ones. I want to talk about the Marvel ones, but I want to ask you about the DC. Tom King, he has a book that he's coming out with, right? Again, that was in this previews, DC Connect. I think it's like a 6-issue. I forgot the name of it, but I'm looking forward to that. So I just wanted to throw that out.
It was in either this month's issue or last month's issue. But yes.
Yeah, I think you. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're a Tom King fan, he's going to be coming out with another book. I believe this one's going to be a shorter 6 mini on top of Batman, Catwoman that he is finishing, and the Human Target on top of, the Strange Adventures and whatnot. But just great stuff coming out of Mr. TK. So be on the lookout for that one. Just I wanted to say it, saw it on previews and just thought I'd share it. But go ahead, Sean. If not, I got something to say about Marvel, but go ahead.
No, I know I did catch up on those books that Mike mentioned on 2.9 to where we have some books to talk about together. I actually still got some of the OG books, Mike, which I actually question why I still do. I still get Darth Vader, which I read that and it was Alien.
I read Alien number, this was 9. I mean,
9.
It's still okay.
Yes.
Oh God.
It's still readable. It's
how
okay.
Dude, like all those people in the church just totally brainwashed, just like, nope, we're gonna go ahead and and pray to this, and then oh my God, and we're gonna be saved. No, all those aliens are gonna freaking kill you. Just to cut in real quick, Sean, is Mark, is that Batman Killing Time?
Something like that. It's just a Batman book, I believe.
Yeah, it's 3 villains, 1 Dark Knight, and a deadly heist gone wrong. Looks like it's it's Killer Croc, Penguin, and Riddler / Catwoman.
When it was based when he was younger, right? Up and coming.
I believe so. So go ahead, Sean. Yeah, Alien number 9, definitely one of the few Marvel books, no problem, that I can still continue to read, just like Strange Academy.
Yes, sir. I did read for 2.9 also. Joker number 12. Did you read that?
I think we're talking about the same. I think we're talking about the same week here.
Okay, want to make sure. So this I was saying. Yeah, I know we read a lot of the same books. I specifically wanted to read a lot of the books.
Joker 12 was from last week, wasn't it? Or the week before?
No, it shows
Let me
2.9.
see. Joker 12.
The week of 2.9.
Oh,
I'm on the week of comic book.
Yeah,
weeks.
I was totally wrong because I forgot that I still had yet to get last week's stack in. So actually, the books that I did read, Batman 120, Detective Comics 1051, it was from the 2nd. So I apologize. So I did read the Alien 9, but I didn't get to read Detective Comics 1052. And I didn't read Joker 12, and I haven't gotten to Batman Catwoman number 10 yet. Yeah, didn't get that one yet.
Catwoman number 10.
That would be next week, sorry.
Okay. Let me not, brother, it's all good. Let me see the second.
Mark, are you still getting Moon Knight?
I am. I'm still writing it out.
So how was number 8 from a week or two ago?
It's decent. Yeah. It's they're kind of introducing another character. It's kind of like a Moon Knight, but it's a darker side of a Moon Knight, but still kind of like within the same fist of the Khonshu. I don't know, Khonshu or whatever. But I don't know. I'm just trying to give Marvel another chances. You know what I mean? And that's actually what I was gonna say when Sean started mentioning the books. But I saw that in previews, and I know we mentioned it before, but they're kind of like in a revamp. Marvel is, right? The Amazing Spider-Man sending it back to number one.
Yep, I'm getting that.
I seen Captain America also as well, right? And I think there's like another one
Daredevil.
as well that Daredevil. Thank you.
Yeah, Daredevil.
Murdoch.
And then I told you that it's coming off of the heels of Devil's Reign.
This Reign, and I'm really into the Devil's Reign stuff right now.
Yeah, you should. I think it's the same writer, so you should probably get Daredevil.
The Wilson Fisk. So it's going to be Chip Zdarsky because that's the writer for Devil's Reign. Mm-hmm. So he's going to be on the Matt Murdock story.
I'm almost positive. Yes.
Mr.
So
Murdoch
that's what
is
I
the
was
man.
trying to tell you. What I noticed as I was going through the Marvel's preview a couple nights ago, I said, okay. As much as Marvel's books have been more negative than positive, in my opinion, compared to the movies and the shows and films and whatnot, but, they're trying to revamp Amazing Spider-Man. I think that all three of us should probably get on that, see how that story goes. The Captain America stuff that I've actually been reading, starting with the United States of Captain America. This one now that I'm reading with the collaboration with Captain America and Iron Man. That one's pretty fun. I don't know. Mr. Rogers is kind of entertaining in a way. So I think I might pick up that number one too and see how that one goes. I picked up the number one, the Hulk. It was the Donny Cates, I believe, right? That the Hulk that just came out.
Yeah.
I did not continue it. It was all right. I've got a Cates story before. It was decent. I don't know if I'm so much into his writing as much as I am into other writers and whatnot.
I mean,
but
it seems like Donny Cates we've picked up and we've dropped a lot of stories. Like you got crossover and then dropped it. Him and the old writer of Immortal Hulk, they switched, so he's now on Venom, and then he's on Hulk. Me and Sean both dropped Thor, so it's
so I'm gonna try those three depending on how they go. I'll probably drop Moon Knight, if I don't like how it's going. Yeah. I just wanted to stick with it because I am trying to get maybe into these shows with you, maybe trying to start with the Moon Knight, maybe because I'm reading it and I'm kind of trying to work my way into it, but Moon Knight really isn't the best. It's not the worst, but we'll see. I'm thinking that the Captain America number one that's going to come up, the Amazing Spider-Man, and probably the Daredevil story is probably going to be a lot better in my opinion.
Mark, that makes me so happy to hear that. Oh my God, I can't wait. Oh,
getting to the show.
There's so many, there's
Don't get too excited.
I know, but just
I might give you one.
The ethos and just the
Starts
personality
That's how it starts.
Yeah, just the
That's
ethos of those characters and the personality of all the villains and characters. They dissect it more in these shows. You can only see so much on a comic book and read so much and kind of picture in your mind, but then when you can see it on the screen, man, some of it's better than the reading. We've read some really, really good books, but when they can put the same story on the silver screen or on your TV screen, man.
And it could be coming on the heels of that little news that I got for you, but you guys still have to wait for that, fans, because we are going to talk about this book here. I'm making them wait. I'm blue balling the fans with this little news.
Real quick, did any of you guys get Monkey Prince number one?
I had it in my hand. I had
it in my hand. Nah, it's okay. It's nah.
Thank you.
I had it in my Gotham, hand. So I mean, like you see Batman in it, you see like Penguin and stuff. So it's set in Gotham City, but I'm good.
It looked like that. It had that feeling to me of a number one that could have had a little bit of interest if you had a first printing. But I had it in my hand, decided to put it back. A lot better stories that I'm reading, like this one that I just mentioned, King of Spies from Image. Man, it's a really, really fun book. It's kind of funny because I read all three of those books. I mentioned that I was going to read King of Spies. I was going to read the Last Himeros, the Bond, the number 5, and then I was going to read The Fourth Man. So as I get to the third book that I'm reading, I'm like, dude, I pretty much just read like all 3 in a row, like spy stories, detective, like murderous type stuff. But yeah, King of Spies, real good. The the protagonist, the guy has he goes to the doctor, finds out he's got like a terminal illness. The dude was just a mastermind type, detective, sniper, just whatever, agent. This dude could do whatever. So he just basically says, I ain't got nothing to live. I'm just going to expose these fools. And you got stories like the Epstein's in there. He's got all these little, gadgets that he goes and just like gets like some of the world's most dirtiest and, corrupt billionaires and millionaires, and he's just exposing all this, and he's just taking out these people, and he's running away. His son hates him. His son is behind one of the teams that's trying to capture him, but his son can't even get him, and he's just, super spy detective. Man, it's on the 3rd issue right now, but I think it's going to be pretty damn good going forward. So I think it's probably 6 issues. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited for it. So a lot of the, I want to get into a little conversation on the side, if I will. But if you have anything to say about King of Spies, I don't know if you guys are reading it, but a little conversation that I was talking about with Alex. He said when we were talking about all these books and remembering everything about them and all the little fine details and minutia that we have to read within these stories, right? And even Alex is like, oh, no, you're right. Like, back in the day, like a lot of these books, you would get them like monthly, whatever it is. And they would be kind of like one-shot type of deals, like in the 50s, 60s, 70s. He said like now the books are kind of made to be read as like trades, paperbacks and whatnot, like as in bigger, stories. Because as you're reading, it's like, I get so like caught up. Like I said, I'm reading all these detective stories and, a lot. That's kind of like my niche. I kind of gravitate to those type of stories, I guess. And I'm just reading so many of them, but they kind of get like all intertwined. But, it's just, it's crazy how books nowadays are such like longer stories than just getting one shots. Oh, the next month it's like, oh, Peter Parker goes against this villain, and it's like it's like a long one shot, and that's like, okay, you read it, you enjoy it, and then boom, the very next month it's like a whole nother one shot. You don't have to like keep remembering and going back in the story. It's like it's really like you're reading like a movie or like a show. You have to like really. I don't know. It's like I don't know if I kind of like maybe some to be more like one shots, but I think that's why they give us annuals. I don't know. It's just something that I was thinking about. You guys want to give your thoughts on it?
And then like if you're chomping at the bit and you need to see what happens in the next issue, you're going to spend more money, because if you get a lot of these stories 100%. That come out in a trade, you have a 6-issue arc in a trade. That's like $9.99. But if you're paying $3 more, every issue, you're paying nearly twice as much for every issue and every single week or every single month, right? When in fact, if you just wait and not really look up any sites or talk to any other fellow comic book readers or listen to this great, amazing podcast, you can save 60% of your money.
And I think maybe what brought that up is 40%. Because I think what brought that up is because I was talking about how I've been saving my detectives because we're getting them weekly now, right, Mike? Mm-hmm. So I've been saving them kind of, and the other week I had like 4 of them saved up, and I read like 3 or 4 of them in a row. I got 2 of them right now, and I'm thinking that I'm probably not going to read those 2 until I pick up my new books on Friday. So then that's going to give me 3. Mm-hmm. And I'm kind of enjoying of reading detective because, as you guys well know, and I'm sure the listeners of this podcast know as well, that detective is probably my favorite story right now, like ongoing, big publisher, big character type book. So the fact that I get to read it like this, I really enjoy Tamaki and how she's been writing the shit out of this story, and just I enjoyed reading it kind of as a trade, as weird as that sounds, because I didn't think I'd be like a trade paperback reader, but I seem to enjoy it, but we'll see.
I know you're getting it weekly, though. I actually like that idea, too. I don't think I got... Other than that might be the only book that I probably get weekly, and I don't do it, but actually thinking about that, like, that actually kind of is a good idea, because it's like what you said. It's almost like a movie. It's reading it as a trade. Everything's right there. So no, I actually like that idea.
And
But
I mean,
to what
especially with
Mike's
these
saying,
Batman and detective books, they're so good. The ink looks so good. The
it
drawing
is
is,
actually
the
they
art
are
is
the
so
best.
good.
They
They're
are the best
you
drawn.
know. So
They are, and it's not just like, oh, Mike likes Batman, it's DC. No, they actually are. When I look at like the Joker books, all the Batman books, they are easily just the most crisp.
Yep.
And
you love the smell of them too, huh?
I mean, even Action Comics, they're on War World right now. It's amazing art. So let's get into the final. I think it's the final two books of the week. Batman 120. So finally, Abyss like reveals himself, and it's weird too because now it's revealed that Lex Luthor is funding Batman Incorporated, but then Abyss is with Batman Incorporated at the end, and they want Batman to join him to kill Lex Luthor. Batman's still blind, getting some help from the detective or the other cop. So it's a decent story, but of course, the reason why I bring this one up before Detective is because I think that this one is inferior to Detective Comics. Batman, written by Josh Williamson, nothing wrong with it. I'm not going to get on our late arc Flash rants, whatever, but it's good. But it's not his fault that Tamaki is what you said, Mark, writing the shit out of Detective right now.
And it's also not his fault that his two predecessors also wrote the shit out of the.
Very, very true. Yeah, Tiny and Tom King. That's very true.
They were hella good.
Williamson has big shoes to fill, and you know what? I as I go through previews sometimes as well, I see Williamson's name pop up a lot. So he's got a lot of work going in DC and that whole universe. So he, say what you will about him. I don't know if that kind of hinders his performance on writing a better Batman story. We'll see how it goes forward. But, that Joshua Williamson cat is kind of like a lot like that Donny Cates cat to me sometimes, kind of start off and kind of just have to kind of withers away. But how am I going to just wither away Batman? It's almost impossible, right? Yeah. So, come on, Mr. J-Dub, just step it up a little bit here now. We sticking with you. The Comic Bookies podcast, we sticking with you. We'd like to have you on one time. So let us know, baby. But right. One love.
To round out the comics, let's get into Mr. Psycho Pirate and Detective Comics. So for me, 1051. So Mark, you said last week, you like 1050, where it kind of revealed him. You're gonna like 10. Like you're gonna like 1051 then. So the whole mystery of why all of these people at the new Arkham Tower are so docile and so calm is because of Psycho Pirate.
Yes,
and sure enough, they load him with coffee, energy drinks, and different caffeine pills and everything, and he just can't seem to stay awake. So he falls asleep, and that's when all hell breaks loose.
What's his name? Tobias Ware. That little sneaky little.
It's so weird. Like Tobias Ware. It's so close to Tobias Whale, the main villain of Black Lightning.
Yeah.
So it's so weird how the name is Tobias and then W, and even it sounds Whale Ware. It's like weird.
So that means that me and you are caught up on Detective then, because that was the last Detective that I've read as well. Was
the last Detective I read was actually because I thought Mike was on 2.9. I actually did read 10.
Okay, so you read the one with it's all kind of red.
Wait, so you hopped on Detective?
Mm-hmm. That makes me That makes me so happy too, Sean.
Dude, what you secretly
I got 1051, and then I got 1052, and then I picked up 1053 this past week. I think this week it came out.
So when did you hop on? Just at 1050 or
he didn't hop on during
months
the
ago?
I think it was probably during the whole baby thingy, just going in and getting it. To be honest.
So
welcome to the Detective family, Sean.
It is. And it easily is definitely another one. Even just looking actually right now at 1052 with Penguin in front, just looking at the front page, it's it's badass.
Yeah, I love how they're introducing so many new characters, to this Arkham Tower, but at the same time you classically have Penguin on the side, So it's going to be really interesting to see. Oh man, and then Nakano's in deep, Oh, and then I meant to say something to you, Sean. Or did we say this 2 weeks ago when you were on? The Doctor, Chase Meridian. Oh,
yep. You see.
Did we talk about that 2 weeks ago? Like what that character's, where she's from?
I don't know if we talked about it, but I know I just read her.
So Chase Meridian, the blonde, the doctor, that is
yes,
that's Nicole Kidman's character in Batman Forever. That's Chase Meridian in the Val Kilmer one.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's pretty cool how they're on the lunch. Yeah, no, she's a real character. So, just like Vicky Vale, you know. But yeah, dude, like it's so funny. Like right when he like falls asleep, all the pills are around him, and then the dude stabs the orderly. Like that's classic. Oh man, dude, and then Nightwing, dude, the what's her name? The one who scratches and claws the crap out of you. She knew who Nightwing was. She was like, I remember you, little baby bat boy. Do you remember me?
Oh yeah.
What the hell?
I know, that's pretty crazy.
I know. But yeah, I mean, it's going good so far. He finally got him to wait. He's like, damn it, Roger.
What do you think this Arkham Tower is gonna accumulate to, Mike?
Another failed attempt, you know? Because it's all based off a lie. It's all Psycho Pirate, you know? So it's all just gonna come.
Are we getting too much Arkham? Are we getting too much Arkham besides the Arkham Knight that we want, and we're not getting there? But we're getting all the rest of Arkham.
I just hope that we soon find out the person that who he's working for. You know, like who the whole mastermind is behind all of this, right? And then we kind of go forward with that person. You know,
how big is Nakano's role in all this, Mike?
It has to be big. Sean? He's in every issue since Vol or whatever his name was.
Maybe he's the Psycho Pirate with that patch.
No,
I know. Just throwing it out there.
I know, right? All right. Anyway, but that's I think the end of the comic book section of the podcast.
I have one more. I can't tease the fans and not give them to them, man. Go ahead. So. For all of us, and thank you once again for our sponsor, Treasure Island Comics in Fremont, California, once again for giving us the opportunity to always be able to read all these books and contribute to these numbers, these worldwide growth that has been coming in the comic book world. In 2020, all-time highs of 1.28 billion comics, and a lot of it is due because of the pandemic and everything being shut down and whatnot. But, people kind of did turn to comic books. They saw a huge growth. Sales in adult graphic novels more than doubled in 2021. One publisher said it was the biggest year yet. Quote, while television production kind of shut down, the rise in reading and books and comics actually increased, said Jessica Sang, international book historian. This is coming out of, I think, a local krtv.com, but I pulled up a couple stories that kind of have the same mantra to it. So yeah, it's just credits to the popularity in graphic novels during the pandemic. A lot of artists and writers from all over the world, as we can attest to also here. Mike, we always talk about those Brazilian artists that we see from like AWA, Spain. You got me that Europa, Batman. We also, this comic book game really is worldwide. So, the top selling graphic novel from the beginning of 2021 was from the Japanese superhero series My Hero Academia, which was one of the most in-demand animes of the year. Mike, you heard of it?
I have.
Other experts say anime is one of the driving forces behind the growing popularity of graphic novels, and specifically who, Mike, from Japan? Manga. Yeah, manga. That subgenre of graphic novels listen to this, guys. That subgenre of graphic novels saw a growth of 171% in 2021 compared to 2020. That amounts to a little bit of more than 24 million books sold last year. So anime is huge. The Japanese culture is loving it. I'm sure people in America and all over the world are loving it. So yeah, dude, I'm happy to hear this, because I think that when we first started doing this podcast, that we were scared that, comic book readers were going down. And who was saying like there's only 100,000 comic book readers and whatnot worldwide, and there's not too, everyone just watches the movies, and that could still hold some weight. But in my opinion, seeing articles like this from more than a couple sources here, I'm just excited to see that. What do you guys think? And fans as well, let us know, comments, let us know on social media. What do you guys think? Are you guys excited that comic book reading is up? Worldwide.
Finally it caught up, people forced to stay at home for a while. So they're finally, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. If I can't go out and do certain things, what have I been missing in my life, And then so they're picking up these trade paperbacks. Like, what did I do? Like, especially throughout the pandemic, whenever I would go into Treasure Island, I would always say, you know what? Like, I'm going to go ahead, I'm spending a little bit less. Like, if I had a week where I only had 5 books, I'd go ahead and pick up, this issue or this volume of Walking Dead or whatever. Or I go on eBay and I'd find, this and that. I find the first, 5 volumes of Deadly Class, and someone was just collecting dust and stuff, so people took advantage of that. And so whether they go into their local comic book stores or on eBay or like however they're consuming it, it's all good news to me.
That don't surprise me at all. I mean, it's funny because we talked about it. Movies are big. Movies are the popular thing as to a degree. It doesn't surprise me. But yeah, once like the COVID thing especially hit, I knew people would be reading more. And naturally, people will likely probably be getting into comics slowly. And how you just brought up the whole Japanese aspect to it, Mark, with the manga you mentioned.
Yes, sir.
No surprise there, because anime is freaking
Even
huge.
the CEO of Barnes and Noble is attesting to bringing in foot traffic to their stores from younger demographic.
I mean, we see it every month, right? We flip through our previews book, and at the very end, right when you pass like Xenoscope, like that's like the last alphabetical, in alphabetical order, that's the last publisher of comic books. And when you flip the page, boom, there's manga. A whole manga section right after like the normal American comic books. So it's huge. Yeah. It's another huge section in previews.
Yeah, I mean, even before you bringing that up, I never thought about that aspect, but like, duh, it's like, this doesn't surprise me at all. I'm sure he's a freaking monster over there. Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks, Mark, for that piece of news, and thank you all so much for watching or listening to the Comic Bookies Podcast 144. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with the second half of this episode, which, of course, is sports. We'll be right back. See you soon.
Uncharted, 44 million in box office.
Thank you, Mark. Hey, buddy. Oh, damn. There he is. There he is. It's gonna be Kaysen, Camden, and Mark's future
There he
son
is.
taking over the bookies.
There he is, living the dream.
Looking like Bruno Mars.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, bro. Mark said he looks like Bruno Mars. Boy got hair like Bruno Mars, bro. That's freaking wild.
Is that
dude.
Fonzie?
It's crazy.
Fonzarelli.
Oh, he got the
Off the
Fonzie,
Fonzarelli?
Fabio. He got it all. Oh, yeah, no doubt, man. He wants to make a guest appearance for a little bit.
Like never holding a baby.
Until he acts up a little bit. He'll be good, though.
Danielle wants to
You
know
say
how
hi to
does
your
it feel
uncles?
from like never really ever holding a baby to like now being a dad. And it's like it's all the time.
Ain't got no damn choice. Ain't got no choice. Ain't got no choice, man. But it's like it's true. Once they hit like 2 months and they're like a little solid, throw this little sucker around,
That's
man.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Oh
They said,
yeah.
just get through the first 2 weeks or whatever. But then, nah, man, get to like the first 2-3 months, and they're actually you can actually do stuff with them.
Yeah, we're just waiting for his neck to like. Obviously, that gets stronger, but yeah, his tummy time, bro. This boy is freaking neck control. Neck control. Yeah, it is better. He hella farted though.
Nice.
Let's rock and roll for a
Okay,
little
cool.
bit.
Where I put my notebook down over here. 1 second. Okay.
Bless you.
Let's do it. Let's go back live. Oh no, that's my actual. What did I do with my?
See Kaysen? Look at Kaysen.
What the hell? Oh, it's right here. That's why. Okay. All right, fellas, going back live in 3, 2, and 1. And welcome back, folks, to episode 144 of the Comic Bookies podcast. We are flying high here tonight, recording the new episode for you. But we have a special guest appearance here. Now, for those of you who are listening, you're just going to have to go to our YouTube page to look and see. But Sean, your new baby boy, Kaysen, is making his first appearance here on the podcast.
There he is.
Ladies and gentlemen, the
Yeah, man.
Kaysen.
Little K. He woke up a little while ago, and he's awake. Let's just say that. So, where else would I want him? He has to make his grand introduction to the world. I know you guys still got to meet him in person, but no, he wants to hang out for a couple of minutes, I think, before he starts getting a little antsy. But man, next generation
There
of
you
comic
go,
book
there
is
you
right
go,
here.
nice.
Head full of hair.
So, all right, let's do it, man. So let's do Champions League week 2, so we can get this out of the way pretty quick, so we can review last week's matchups and then review today's and tomorrow's matchups for the first, pretty much the first leg. Not really much to it just yet. If this is the time to lose, if you're going to have one of those hiccup games, because you can still make up. Oh no, this is the wait. Hold on, no, this is not the round. I'm tripping. You only get a home and home this time. But Mark, I know you and my brother were talking last week about the away goals don't count anymore. Is this correct? Man,
They don't.
that's super weird to have now.
Villarreal draws with Juventus today. Chelsea with Pulisic, the American, scoring it. Captain America, #1, starting up. But not Pulisic, 63rd minute, nets one to give Chelsea a 2-0 draw over Lille.
Oh God.
And yes,
Juventus scored in the
Juve.
first minute and then couldn't do anything the rest of the game.
Oh, wow, that's right. In the
on.
first minute. Yeah, man, it happens that way sometimes, man. It's just get that early luck and can't do nothing about it. So here we are.
But talk about the away goals not mattering anymore. I had no idea that they changed that rule.
I mean, your brother was kind of upset saying that they don't play and now they don't have to do anything in the first round. They're just willing to draw. But in a way, it's just kind of BS. It's a lie because if you're the away team, I think you still want to draw. I mean, you still want to score. I mean, even if you're home, any team wants to score.
Yeah.
The fact that anybody that's into sports as much as your brother is going to say that they're happy to just draw, I mean, it's just a lie. I mean, maybe the Raiders and the Chargers last season in Week 18 were probably willing to draw and didn't give a damn because they knew they were both going to make the playoffs. But in this scenario, whether you get an extra little credit, if you will, for scoring an away goal, or if you don't, I mean, if you're the away team, I'd say you still want to score an away goal because you're thinking that going back home, it's going to be on your side. It's going to be harder for the other team to score an away goal. So you're looking at, you're going to have the upside coming back home for the second leg. So regardless, I mean, I think you're going to try to score, and it's going to be kind of the same. It almost becomes the same way because if the away team scores and the home team has to score, obviously, and not let them score, it kind of becomes the same thing in a way if you think about it. Sean, I mean...
100% agree. The whole away goal, I mean, it does change the mentality in some aspects, but big picture, I mean, you want to go in there, you want the game. I do not care if I'm playing on the road or at home. On the road, I mean, your goal is more not to lose. A draw is okay, but you play to win. Like, it doesn't matter. I mean, away goals, that rule, it helped, but also, like, it dictated a lot of, like, the way you're going to play the next game. Oh, we had an away goal. The next game we can get a little conservative, or I don't know. I hate how scores make such a big influence. And, we've seen teams, 3 goals down. Liverpool versus who they play? Barcelona. Yeah. Was that what it was? You know what I'm saying? It just changes your mentality. I'm just like, dude, just go in there and try to win every game. And there's times where they say, oh, we did. No. When you're up like 3-0, like in that situation, your mentality automatically is play a little conservative, play a little bit safe. The minute you say that,
if the first leg is 0-0, I'd say you think about it, and then you play the second leg, and you're the home team. That puts a lot more pressure actually on the home team because now if you're the home team, if you give up that away goal, you're like, oh crap, I gotta score 2 now. Now it's like it kind of, if it's 0-0 and they get that away goal, the home team knows, like, I just gotta get that 1 goal.
Now it's just one to go to extra time and then PKs. Yeah,
I don't think it. I think it's one of those rules that we kind of go up in arms about it and kind of fuss about it, kind of like, NASCAR in a way with some of their rules. But I've been around NASCAR and so many rule changes, like this whole one lug thing and whatnot. And it's just going to be one of those things that it's going to be kind of forgotten after like a season or 2. You're not even going to really pay attention to it, in my opinion, so.
Yeah. So with those 2 scores given, we have tomorrow, the final day of the first leg of all these games, Atletico Madrid.
Final day of the round of 16, yes.
Yes, final day of the first leg of the round of 16. So Atletico Madrid is at home against Manchester United, and Benfica is at home against Ajax. So I think overall, just on paper, that looks like the best day to watch games, even though Man U, I think they haven't won. Did they win? I think they won. I think they're on a 2-game winning streak. And then
I think Man U needs to get their act together because Atletico Madrid isn't no slouch, man.
Suarez and Griezmann might not play tomorrow, though, so that's going to help. But that's the thing, though. It shouldn't.
Sean with the injury report.
That shouldn't even be a conversation. Man U needs to go out there and get their shit together, like Mark said.
Man U, yes, I agree with you, Sean. I totally agree with you. I believe Man U has to come out with one of those games. They're not doing, one of those statement games, They're obviously not doing one of those statement games, providing them for their fans in the English Premier League. I think that, here's their chance to do it. If you can come out, show big tomorrow in Madrid, I think that... I think that's going to be very good for Mr. Cristiano. That is very knows those stadiums and those fans and how to play in Spain, if you will, So I think, of course, Ronaldo's going to be up to the challenge. It's just how are the counterparts going to play? And that's probably a question I posed to Mike, being the resident Manchester United fan. What do you think?
I mean, they're here, right? They're not in the Europa League. They actually have a chance, Atletico Madrid is a tough team to play against. I don't know how they're going to play, man. It's just because I can't predict how they're going to play in the EPL. You can say, play decent or whatever, but then you can tell that they play really well in the Champions League. But they
big stage.
I don't know. They've played the two different types of ways in both tournaments. Or in league and in the Champions League. They haven't played one specific way in the Champions League and then one specific way in EPL. It's both. They play good and bad in both tournaments in league. So who knows? I have no idea from game to game what Manchester United I'm going to get. I might get, a 3-0 win, or I'm seeing like a 2-1 loss to someone who's 17th on the table. Like, what the hell's going on? So I'm going to say I do not know.
Well, you said that they're here and that matters. They have a chance. And what's crazy? I just noticed all of our teams are here. Benfica, your Manchester United Red Devils, and my Liverpool Reds were all in the round of 16. So I know my team has already won their first leg. So your teams play tomorrow on the 23rd of February. So not congratulations, but best of luck to both of your teams. If you follow Madrid, their form, their last 5 games, win, loss, win, loss, win. So hopefully maybe that they can have that L to follow that pattern there. And, Benfica, I think that's going to be a pretty good game. I think Benfica, Ajax is good though, man.
They're good.
Are they as good this year, you'd say, as they had their run last year, or what was it the year before?
They're good. That was like a Cinderella quote-unquote run, even though they didn't win the Champions League, but just one of those just consistent every season. They dominate their league. Benfica, they've been struggling this season, bro. They've been really struggling. They already fired their coach, okay. So, yeah, man, it's just been pretty tough.
Well, we'll see. We'll have a report for tomorrow. For next week, and then we'll, the interesting episodes happen when it's the second leg. When now that certain teams are in certain situations, so they have to go, so we'll see who has the pressure on them after tomorrow's game. But let's move on to the NBA All-Star Weekend. I've already confirmed with Mr. Fagundes, but neither of us watched a single lick of dunk contest, of if they even had a three-point contest, of the, old timers game or whatever the hell they call that. The actual game. Sean, did you watch any of it? I saw that Curry hit like 8 threes in half.
I could sum it up in 2 minutes.
How bad was the dunk contest, man?
Dunk contest, one of the worst I've ever seen. I was happy Toscano was in it, though, represent. Even though his dunks were so basic, they did look crisp. Dunk contest was trash. 3-point contest is one of the most competitive things that does happen that weekend.
Who was in the 3-point?
Skills competition. Karl Anthony Towns, who did win, I think, ever as a center, Van Vliet, CJ McCollum, no Curry, no Clay, so.
Gotta give someone else a chance.
The game itself, I think Josh Donaldson yesterday said it best. It's a pure embarrassment. Every All-Star game except baseball, to what me and Mike said, you can't cheat off of a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. You gotta hit the damn thing. But it's almost embarrassing. But I will say, and I don't care what, I will take this argument to anybody. And it sucks, it's only a small sample size, but the last 5 minutes of the NBA All-Star game is one of the best qualities of basketball. Because they do try legitly, and it is the best players on the court. If you actually watch it from okay, I would literally just say anybody, you hate the All-Star game, that's fine. I actually get it. I don't like it either. Hey, Red Sea parts, go score a bucket. It's just, what are we doing here, But that last 5 minutes, they legitly competitive play. I don't know if it's the amount of money that goes to charity or what it is exactly, but somehow it just turns up a little bit. And it was nice that Curry won the MVP, but overall,
so it'll be interesting. So
it's All-Star weekend,
we'll set
bro.
next year. I'll set a timer or an alert. We have hit the 5-minute mark here in the fourth quarter of the 2023 NBA All-Star game, and then I'll turn it on.
Do we? How? NHL wasn't too great. Do we go back to? Is it one of these things that we could attest? Times less is more, because I'm looking at all of these leagues. They're trying so hard to revamp, their all-star situations and their all-star games and how to do this and that. And as far as I'm seeing, it's just not really working in a lot of these leagues.
The actual game has gotten so bad, so then they try so hard and all the skills, the creative stuff, and it's like, that's actually not really the problem. Just the game itself is what the problem is. It sucks,
you mentioned
man.
MLB being better, but
Baseball is the best. Baseball is the best All-Star game. There's no argument there.
About
it
NASCAR.
is the best.
NASCAR's for
I
$1
was
million,
just gonna
$1
say
million.
that.
Okay. If you're talking about motorsports, yes, and because I take it out of the major sports.
That's
yes,
a great
NASCAR is
All-Star
good.
though.
Mhm.
Event.
Oh, for sure it is.
We're talking
They do that.
All-Star
That's another
events.
one. Yeah,
That's-
so if you want to go from that standpoint, yeah, NASCAR probably is one of the more competitive ones. 100%. Who won $1 million?
Mhm.
Hell yeah! I think, bro, Pro Bowl, you get $15,000
And a free trip to Hawaii. Yeah,
VIP
Or was it
at
even
the
in Hawaii?
Encore. Come
Shoot.
on now.
put it back in Hawaii. That way,
Yeah.
people actually get a free trip to Hawaii.
So
It's
there we go. That's a good way of looking at it too. If they had, I think, some sort of incentive like that. Oh, bro, I think the Pro Bowl, I'll just aside, winning teams like 35K, losing teams 15K or something like that doesn't incentivize anybody. Like, I gotta try a little harder now. That's nothing.
That's why the two-hand touch, because like 15,000 after taxes ain't nothing.
Ain't nothing for brother. Come on now. But yes, you can definitely skip those 3 minutes of the NBA All-Star
All right.
game overall, other than Curry getting the MVP. That was pretty awesome.
And they called that, is the MVP now called the Kobe Bryant Award because he was like the first recipient of that award? Is it something? Is it something different?
I think it's the Kobe Bryant trophy, but it's still just regular MVP.
got
I
it.
think. I'm pretty sure, but no, that was actually pretty special too. You know, the 75th anniversary was pretty dope too. 75 greatest players.
Oh yeah, huh? Okay.
Halftime was just like 25 minutes. They had every one of those players go on the court. That's
Did they
alive.
have? I saw they had Shaquille O'Neal with his tongue again.
They had
First of the Super Bowl halftime show, and now this. That's cool. Okay,
So you're telling Dwight Howard?
No, he didn't make it. He's not a 75 greatest.
Oh.
But there's also arguments if there's certain players are, how do you kind of not have him? Because his first 5 to 7 years, as dominant as anybody, numbers don't lie.
True in Orlando. Yeah, that's true. Well, speaking of something else,
That's another
yeah,
argument.
speaking of something else, I didn't watch a lick of. The Winter Olympics have come and gone. I watched maybe.
I didn't even know it ended, bro.
Neither did I. That's why I told Mark before we started recording. I was like, I didn't even know when it ended. I saw tweets like, "Oh, and there's
you
a
guys
finale."
are
Like,
bad.
oh god. So the only thing I actually did watch was like 2 of the ski jumps, like 2 of them, and then like 1 minute of a hockey game. That's it.
I maybe watched like 30 seconds.
And then my wife was
of
watching
it.
a
I didn't
couple
get
of the
to it.
ice skating performances, so I did watch some of that, and that's it.
I seen the Tom Brady of male ice skating. That's like the comparison. This
he's
guy
really
is
good?
fucking hell.
The guy from Palo Alto?
Who knows, bro? But he was just doing some spinneroonies in the air, boy. I've been on my ass about 10 times.
Yeah, the cross country is pretty good. The skiing. I barely watched any of it. I tuned in for a couple of it, but yeah, dude, I just don't know why people I don't know what the reason is, but I mean the numbers just show it.
I mean, for me personally, once they didn't, I think they stopped doing the NHL All-Star break. I mean, the Olympic break. Once they stopped doing that, and then actual NHL players stopped playing in the Olympics.
Forget it.
Oh, there's my last reason to watch it. Sorry. Maybe a half pipe or two, and now what's his name? The Flying Tomatoes retired. Now he's gone. Bye.
Flying tomato.
They should make that mandatory that they do the NHL break. That is so special, man, when they do that. Like, it's so competitive, man. That
Yeah.
Canada-US game is
And now it's back to 1980 when they won the gold, or when they won
Lake Placid.
in Lake Placid, where it was just a bunch of like college kids. It wasn't any NHL players. But what
I think the Winter Olympics, obviously not being as big as the Summer Olympics, I think that the Winter Olympics need to be I think we need to send it to like a cool ass city. Like I always say, why don't they have that crap in Tahoe again, like they did in the '60s or whatever? Like
Tahoe wouldn't be big enough, I don't think, bro.
These
Tahoe
days,
in the 60s maybe was big enough. When you see how big the Olympics actually,
but you
has to
obviously
be.
wouldn't just have it in Tahoe. You'd have certain.
of course,
Truckee,
of course,
and you have all the
of
other surrounding
course,
areas.
Yeah.
Oh, it would be dope though. Don't get twisted. I was bringing that up the whole time. You need to have it in Tahoe. That'd be
And
hella dope.
obviously, they have certain events that could be at an arena or whatever, college in Reno, and like, I mean, I think they can make it happen. I get what you're saying. I think that the Olympics have become such a spectacular that it's so big now and everything, and so everything's just bigger and greater and obby-dabby and style and whatnot. So
Well, good on you, Mark. 1960 was the Winter Olympics in
60s.
Squaw Valley.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Let's
good on
make
you.
it happen. You can have it like up. It doesn't even have to be necessarily just in like, you could say like Reno, Tahoe area, like Sierra Nevada. You could have it down like more like closer where whatever Yosemite where there's snow as well. You could find places. I mean, bring it.
Have them travel down to Bear Mountain too.
Or you could
because.
go even
Because I'll let you say something right after, because I guarantee you that having it in the Sierra Nevadas, like where I just got stuck in 8 hours to come back and travel about 250 miles, 11.4 million viewers across NBC Universal properties viewed the Olympics. It's down 42% from the 2018 games. That's astonishing. If you guys performed down 42% at your guys' job, that wouldn't look too good. I don't know if you guys would be getting your guys'
Me and Sean would be on the pip.
Yeah, So,
Gone.
man, and if that's not bad enough, primetime numbers were down 26% from the 2021 Summer Olympics. It could be that Olympics being back-to-back years, people are kind of exhausted from Olympics coverage. Who knows? Maybe too much Tirico. But I don't know, man. Sean, you had something to say. You guys have your thoughts on this?
I think even to add to the U.S. doing it, you can go like the way they're doing the World Cup. I mean, not the whole North America, but you can even just do like Tahoe, Colorado, just because you figure these countries going city to city.
True.
It's just like us going state to state. So we have a lot of. No, I like your argument of having it here. Not even just Tahoe.
Aspen.
We have so many locations that are Aspen. So many beautiful locations that you can have. So no, I think, at some point it's going to come back here. It has to.
Or even combine it with
actually
Canada.
has to,
Just
I
make it a
think,
North
so.
America thing, too. So we have so many places to go to up in Canada, too. So, yeah, it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, but
That'd be
shout
awesome, man.
out to those Norwegians, man. They kind of, as a good 37 medals total. Mr. Putin's Rock Nation with 32.
Rock
Germany
Nation.
The Rock is in the building.
Germany with 27. So, yeah. Norway, 16 golds. Putin, 12 silvers. They lead with the silvers. And, yeah, Putin also leads in bronze with 14. So,
Oh, man.
but Norway led with the gold.
Bomb,
So,
All right. Well, let's get into it, man. On with the Olympics, Champions League, NBA All-Star Week. Let's get into NASCAR. The Daytona 500, and as you see, if you're watching live now on YouTube, our channel, The Comic Bookies, the winner, rookie Austin Cindric, the number 2, taking over for Brad Keselowski at Team Penske. That Ford Mustang crossed the line right before Bubba Wallace. That's his second, I think, it's his second place, only 5 Daytona 500s for Bubba, so that close again from winning. But yeah, congrats to your team, Mark, to Joey Logano's teammate. Who would have thought that when they said, pick a Ford or pick Team Penske? No one really thought about the 2. Everyone thought about the 22 or the 12. But it was a good race. I think all of Hendrick Motorsports got taken out. Byron and Bowman early, and then Larson and Chase later. So, yeah, they didn't perform really well. I mean, they got caught in unfortunate accidents caused by the former Penske driver Brad Keselowski. But yeah, so it was a good race though.
That was unfortunate to cause that Keselowski to cause that wreck right before the first stage ended. That was kind of whack of him.
On the 21, yeah.
on a rookie driver, in a Ford, your Ford family, you're pushing,
Your
you're
sister
the
team,
owner.
pretty much, right? Still, is it still like the sister team of Team Penske? Is the Wood Brothers?
Yeah, oh yeah, but he's not on Team
No, but I
Penske
know, like his
anymore.
former. I'm just saying his former sister.
His former
know.
sister team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just with him, even with his
Ruthless.
car in general, but he's aggressive on these tracks, and he wants
Oh,
to
he
win
sure is. He
bad.
took
won
out your
his
guy
duel.
last year. He sure is aggressive.
That was kind of a chain reaction type of thing, but
Come on.
they didn't want that to happen this year as Blaney came and pushed Mr. Cindric down to the line. But you're saying he's going to be a waste of a spot in the playoffs. I thought that was pretty negative of you to say because I actually do like Cindric, and you saw him perform pretty damn good at Xfinity Series. Guy's a great road course racer. He actually comes from that type of style of racing in sport cars, and that's why he's good at road courses. And I believe the kid is actually going to perform pretty good. So over under, man, I'll tell you, over under 1.5 wins for Austin Cindric. Where are you going with?
Lower.
Lower.
You see,
So this
you keep saying, but you keep saying like road course. He still has to get past Chase or Larson at Watkins Glen. Are they doing the Daytona road course?
So,
they do
so
like
you're
7
telling
more.
me, so you're telling me that this is going to be like a Christopher Bell last year, where he won that Roval, that second race of the year, and then that was it.
And then he gets eliminated after the first round. I think he did.
But I don't know, man. I think that
He's good and he's
Austin
up and coming, but I
Cindric
just
is gonna
don't think
do
it's this
pretty
year.
good this year, bro.
I just don't think it's this year.
But I think he's going to do pretty good.
All right.
You watch.
All right.
The two things that I took away from the race is actually even before the race, the night before, and I texted, and I'm sure we all freaking get the ESPN updates, and over half the field, the schools are in their 20s. Like, the next generation is here. Before anything, that's just wild, dude. You really
The next
think about
generation
that.
is here. Speaking,
It is
pun
here,
intended
man.
or no pun intended, because it is here.
The car itself too.
Yeah, the car itself is here.
And that's another. And
Your
that's
thoughts?
the next thing I was gonna bring up. I hate the one.
What?
I hate it. It's hella.
Why?
I mean, there's a few problems. It seemed like there's a few problems with the tires.
There's they gotta iron some stuff out.
I just like that. Not.
That's true.
What the hell? I don't like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Not
But
just
like by the time they're done, the gas guy's still like, hold on, Bill.
I mean, he has to lean back
in here.
and then go back.
Yeah.
in.
It's a
Yeah, I like that, man.
You kind of feel like when you're watching the pit stop and he's like taking off the lugs, and you kind of feel like the anxiety from the tire, the guy that's holding the tire that places it on the studs. You're kind of feeling that anxiety, but yeah, it was kind of like everything was happening like so simple and slow in a way that it didn't seem like they had much error to like mess up.
Yeah,
Like,
you only have 4 chances to mess up and not 20 or 24.
but
20.
to defend them, and to defend the one lug nut, I think this is going to be different because this was Daytona. And what do they do in Daytona? They never changed 4 tires. So they were always going with 2.
Right
side or left side at a time. And it was a good introduction for their crews to kind of practice and get a little bit of the hiccups out of the way, in my opinion. When you come back to a track which is going to be very, very tire heavy in Fontana coming up here in a couple days, that track is going to be wild. And
So all the mile and a halves, and the short tracks like Martinsville and Bristol, you're using
4
You're
tires.
using 4 tires. Road courses where you're turning left and right, it's like equal opportunity to get wear on the tire.
in Fontana is where you're going to see a lot of mistakes happen. Mark my words, because these pit crews still didn't appreciate and have real time, pit crew, in live races to do 4 lugs, and to like actually have to go from the side to the side, and just like it's going to be a lot different than what they did at Daytona. I guarantee that.
To do the full 4.
Okay.
And I expect some mistakes.
But all in all, it was at times in like the dead center of the race, it was a lot of just green flag, a lot of green flag racing. But I just love the groupings and then the timing of the pit stops, and if they're in fourth place here and then they
all go
can't
together.
catch that group, so now they're going to fall into the second group, and of course at the very end with overtime, just I knew that was going to be the last caution. Obviously, the last crash happened, well after the limit, so the race would have ended. But yeah, it's a very unpredictable race, but it's always a very classic and entertainment race every single time they go there.
And I don't know why Fox wasn't scoring it, but I guess Logano was down like 3 laps, so that sucks. That's going to be a huge problem because when these tires are going flat and they just can't get going again like they used to in the old car with the old tires. So that's going to suck because you're on a track as big as Daytona where it's 2.5 miles and you can't move.
Yep.
And you just lost a bunch of laps. Imagine on like shorter tracks where you're going to lose 5-6 laps because you can't get going. That's not fair.
So because
the other car, usually when their tires were flat, unless it was something really, really bad, they could usually, like you saw what happened to Logano when he couldn't get going. That was bullshit. In the other car, they would have got going. Maybe not like stuck in the grass. But then they got him out of the grass and then he still couldn't get going. Remember? Like, that was kind of odd to me. I'm like, oh, drivers are going to hate that. You could see the frustration on his face.
Yeah, of course.
Losing those laps,
So we go from the schedule's kind of weird this year. I don't really remember a Fontana race being this early. They usually go to like the first Phoenix race or Atlanta, and then they go up and then they go over to the West Coast and kind of make the Phoenix, Fontana, Vegas trip. But Fontana being the second race of the year, I mean, let's do it. So you only go from a 2.5-mile track down to a 2-mile track before you go, I think, over the next couple weeks to Atlanta and Vegas, which are 1.5 miles. But what do you guys say? Anybody over Kyle Busch this weekend? Kyle Larson does have a win there. Martin Truex Jr. has a win there. What do you guys say about Fontana?
I think I know why, though. They're gonna. I think I know why Fontana is so early this year.
They want to make sure they get it in before it closes because of COVID again.
No, I just think that they were really going to think about redoing the track, but I think that they put a halt and they put like a little weight on that due to construction costs, inflation, and everything, and material costs in order to do this whole remodel of this track.
Yeah.
So I think that as a collective, I think NASCAR and ownership and track people have actually put this on hold, and this is why we're seeing this track actually be the second race of the season, which it usually isn't, like you said, Mike. So now, I mean, they kind of got stuck with the date, thinking that they were probably going to start demolishing it after this date, but that's not probably going to happen as far as I see in the foreseeable future. So we'll keep you guys updated on more news on that track. But yeah, it is this week. It is the Wise Power 400. Kyle Larson is your favorite at 4-1. Chase Elliott at 8-1. Kyle Larson, you saw him win here your very first NASCAR race. Miguel became a fan because of that. And yes, man, he's going to be very hard to beat here. He's very good here. Kyle Busch also as well. Hamlin also. Man, I love this track. Bowman's fast here. This is going to be so hard.
Who won this last year? Or did they not have... Did they not race 2 years in a row?
I don't think they raced there.
Yeah, it might have been 2 years in a row they haven't raced there.
Okay, because they have Bowman and Kyle Busch each winning a race since February of 2019. So that doesn't make any sense. That would mean that there would be 2 of them, right? In the last 3 years?
Give me some Austin Cindric, baby.
Again? Going back to back?
Good boy.
Nice.
Telling you, he's going to be good this year. I like him.
Cole Custer, to get top 10 or top 20 or to win?
I was just looking at Cole Custer.
I like what I saw.
Now,
I like what I've seen out of Briscoe, man. Briscoe at the Clash.
Yeah.
Briscoe finishing 3rd at Daytona. Props to him, dude. Yeah, I like what I'm seeing out of that kid. So, but I just hope that the Clash and that Daytona wasn't just a outlier. I hope that we continue to see kind of like a Suarez up in the mix all season. I'd like to see an Eric Jones up there. Like Eric Jones was kind of was shown in the Clash, and he was up there kind of a couple times in Daytona. So I want to see him.
Oh, you know what?
McDowell
Yeah.
showed in the Clash, and obviously won Daytona last year and was up there this year. It's kind of cool to see some of these drivers. Hemrick is showing something. I like Burton. He was up there in the Clash and at Daytona.
Big names.
Give us some of these younger names up there. Give us some parity this year.
Oh yeah.
I'd love to see it, man.
So let me clarify something. So February 2019, right? So they're giving two winners, Bowman and Busch. So technically, in the 2021 season, they skipped Fontana, right?
It's been
The 2020 season, technically, they got Fontana in because they didn't close and shut down the season until like the third weekend of 2020.
March,
So,
yeah.
Of March, right? So the Auto Club 400 was won by Alex Bowman in 2020. So that means Busch won it in 2019. And then you had Phoenix Raceway won by Joey Logano on March 8th of 2020. And then their next race wasn't until Darlington in mid-May. So, and that was the 2020 season. So pretty crazy. So technically, yeah. So we didn't have a race last year. So this will be the first race we've had since March of 202020. So
Can't wait. This track is
wait.
so exciting.
So
also.
are you picking? Are you
2 mile
picking?
track
It's
too?
2 miles. So are you picking Cindric to win?
I'll take Blaney.
Okay, Sean.
Bum, 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 bum. For some odd reason, I don't know why, I kind of like Truex.
I mean, he's
this
won there
week.
before.
I don't know why.
I was gonna go to.
Yeah, he has one win. I don't know why. I know he had a stage
two.
win last week. I kind of like.
I do like.
Truex.
I
the
do
stages.
like. I do like. I like a Bowman and a Larson. I do like a. I like the Chevys in this track too. Raw power as well. I mean, obviously the Ford show that also, but it's gonna be good. I hope they practice and I hope there's qualifying.
Yeah,
It is California though, so we'll see.
but I'm gonna take a guy who I took last week. He ran up there in the top 6, top 10 the whole race. I'm gonna go Busch again. He has 4 total wins there. He won also in 2019. So I'm gonna
Which one?
Kyle.
You know who else is a
Hilo.
good name there? A good little underdog there that runs good there. That kind of runs like a Larson
Sure.
is Tyler Reddick. He
He's
likes
gonna be
that
good,
high
dude.
line.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's going to be
Reddick.
good too. I think he'll make the playoffs this year. I think he'll squeeze in a win somewhere this year for sure.
Yeah. I mean, he's good. He likes to run those high lines. He's good at a Miami. He's good at anything where you can run that cushion, like
Yeah,
they say like they like to say in the dirt world.
I mean, they don't race here anymore, but they had a good cushion in Kentucky too. Especially in, I think it was either the first 2 turns or the last 2 turns. You can really ride that high side. Wasn't Kentucky the one where they repaved and like everyone was riding in the bottom half? It was Kentucky or Kansas that they repaved only half of it, and everyone was hugging either the inside lane or the outside lane the whole race.
Darlington also.
Yeah.
And remember
Stripe.
this year, fellers. And Atlanta is repaved. So that is going to be a fast track. I'm excited to see when they go to Atlanta in 4 or 5 weeks.
Atlanta's early. Yeah, Atlanta's usually earlier. So
Yeah. Isn't it the first race after the West Coast swing?
it probably
I think it is.
Oh, Dirty
probably.
It's
South.
either-
I like it.
Auto Club is this week. So to end the month of February, and then you have Las Vegas, Phoenix, Atlanta, and then Circuit of the Americas. So that's your March races.
Coda.
Yep, that's
Remember
right.
Coda? What a shit show Coda
God, the
was
rain.
last year.
Oh my God,
The rooster tails, everyone running into each other, couldn't see each other.
Sean was happy. Chase ended up getting that win.
I remember. I think it was at
Red
Mark's
flag.
house.
Huh?
That's right.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So I'm taking Busch. Sean, you're taking a fellow Joe Gibbs Racing.
Yeah, I mean, I hope Chase, but yeah, let's go with the.
All right,
Truex
cool.
this
I
week.
like that. Sean mixing it up, taking a Toyota driver.
All right, guys. So that's pretty much it for the sports. Hope you guys enjoy the race. Hope you guys enjoy the weekend full of, not really full of sports, but enjoy maybe an NBA game or something. We'll have news next week on the negotiations with Major League Baseball and if we're actually going to have a season this season coming up in April. But yeah, other than that, episode 144 is done. Take us away, guys.
Episode 144, guys. Another slobber knocker with the 3 comic book Mike and myself. Love it every week. As we keep saying, please support us, keep joining us. Mark mentioned it, and it speaks for itself. Comic book reading especially is getting bigger and bigger, and hopefully isn't just a COVID thing. It'll just keep continuing to get as big as it is. Support your local comic book shop. Wednesday, tomorrow, make sure you go check your comic book shop for your new comic books. Treasure Island Comics is our supporter, so if you're in the area, Fremont, California, thank you again, guys, and keep checking us out. Social media, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all of the above.
Yes. Like Sean said it. And most importantly, if you guys are new to all this, if you guys are trying to get your foot in the door, like I once was, and I still am in certain aspects of this comic book world and this whole sports stuff and whatnot have you, you guys always reach out to us. Let us know, because we are in this journey with you guys together. We are learning with you. We are, here to just share our stories, share our thoughts on the sports and entertainment world and comics. And we're here to collide those two worlds every week for you guys. So like Sean said, please share, spread the word. Give us a 5-star review or a 1-star, however you feel. Just at least listen to us before you leave a review, unlike some a-holes out there that don't give a damn. But nonetheless, yes, we are the Comic Bookies Podcast. Yes, we are brought to you by Treasure Island Comics. And yes, we do deliver the best content for you weekly on a weekly basis at the Comic Bookies on Instagram and Twitter. And always, you can email us, thecomicbookies@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. But we'd love to hear from your mama more. Take us out.
So just a couple of stats here. The country of Belgium is still rocking with the Comic Bookies podcast. Sean, I don't know if you realize, but we always seem to get like one consistent download, right? And I guess over the past 10 episodes, there's been like almost 200 downloads in Belgium. So I think that person has told a bunch of other people, I hope. So that's pretty awesome. I have no new countries for you, but I do have, I believe, since I can't remember ever getting a download from here, but if we're going to talk about just the United States specifically, thank you to the person downloading in Hawaii. So we are across the Pacific Ocean to the islands of Hawaii. Thank you so much for the download. But yeah, for Mark and for Sean, this is Mike. Keep listening, keep watching, keep subscribing. With all of these sports kind of going, most of them going away. We're hitting this off season before baseball starts. This is a perfect opportunity for you to go to your local comic book store and pick up a back issue, a trade paperback, a nice story, by itself. Don't jump into something long like The Walking Dead or Saga. Get a nice Batman or Daredevil or Spider-Man, something that you can really, get into and read in one weekend. But episode 144 is done. Enjoy the sports, enjoy the comics, enjoy each other. Peace out. See y'all next week.
Peace. And always enjoy each other and enjoy as we get into the spring weather. Peace out.